Stop looking at the meat aisle. The most efficient protein on the planet isn't wrapped in plastic. It doesn't come from a cow. And it definitely doesn't require acres of pasture or expensive feed. In fact, right now, in the dead of winter, while livestock are freezing and vegetable gardens are buried under snow, this organism is waiting to grow in your kitchen. It feeds on the one thing you throw away every single morning: coffee grounds. Think about the absurdity of modern food. To get 1 pound of beef, you need 2,000 gallons of water, 12 pounds of grain, and 18 months of waiting. To get 1 pound of this winter meat, you need a bucket of trash, a splash of water, and 7 days. It has a texture that pulls apart like slow-cooked pork. It has 0 cholesterol, and it contains natural compounds that actually clean your arteries instead of clogging them. History calls it the poor man's steak. I call it the smart man's survival pack. But before you start filling buckets in your kitchen, there is a serious catch you need to understand. This isn't just a vegetable. It is an aggressive biological system. In the winter, when your windows are sealed tight to keep the heat in, this aggression can turn against you. If you let it grow just 24 hours too long, it unleashes a silent, invisible storm of particles into the air. In a closed room, this biological dust can overwhelm your lungs, leading to a condition literally called mushroom worker's lung. Now that sounds terrifying, but don't let the fear win. We have been taught to fear nature, but we just need to understand it. The difference between a health hazard and a superfood comes down to a simple visual check I call the curl rule. By the end of this video, I will teach you exactly how to spot the curl to keep your air clean and how to turn your morning caffeine waste into a perpetual supply of winter protein. It's time to meet the oyster mushroom. Welcome to Reclaimed Nature. Let's start by destroying a myth. You have been brainwashed to believe that meat is the only real source of strength, that everything else is just a side dish. But let's look at the biology. When you eat a steak, you are eating the result of a terribly inefficient process. A cow is a biological machine that wastes 90% of what it eats just to stay alive, to keep its body warm, to walk around, to moo. Only about 10% of the energy it consumes turns into meat on your plate. From a survival standpoint, that is a bad investment. Now look at the oyster mushroom, Pleurotus ostreatus. This is not a plant. It doesn't use photosynthesis. Geneticists tell us that fungi are actually closer to animals than they are to vegetables. Like us, they breathe oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. Like shrimp and lobsters, their cell walls are made of chitin. You aren't eating a vegetable. You are eating a life form that sits on the border of the animal kingdom. And its efficiency is terrifyingly perfect. In the mushroom world, there is a metric called biological efficiency. If you feed an oyster mushroom 1 pound of dry straw or coffee grounds, it can produce 1 pound of fresh mushrooms. That is a 100% conversion rate. Some expert growers even hit 200%. It is a biological alchemy that turns waste into food without losing a single ounce of mass. And what about the quality? Meat gives you protein, yes, but it comes packaged with saturated fat and cholesterol. Oyster mushrooms give you a complete protein profile, but they also come with a secret weapon, lovastatin. This is a naturally occurring compound that is used in prescription drugs to lower cholesterol. So while a burger clogs your system, this fungal meat actively works to scrub it clean. But if this is the perfect food, fast, free, and medicinal, why didn't our ancestors grow it everywhere? Why isn't it in every history book? Because for centuries they were terrified of it. And to be fair, they had a reason to be. Most crops are divas. Tomatoes need full sun. Peppers need heat. Lettuce needs gentle breezes. When the first frost hits, they all die. The garden shuts down. But the oyster mushroom is a soldier. In the wild, you will see them clinging to dying trees in late November, sometimes even pushing through a dusting of snow. While plants hibernate, the oyster mushroom's root system, called mycelium, is wide awake. It runs through the wood, devouring it from the inside out. There are specific strains like the blue oyster that actually prefer the cold. They thrive in temperatures that would stall other fungi. In fact, a cold shock is often the trigger that tells them to fruit. The drop in temperature signals to the organism, winter is coming. I need to reproduce now. So while your neighbors are staring at their frozen barren backyards, you could be harvesting clusters of blue-gray protein in your garage or unheated basement. But its resilience isn't just about temperature. It's about diet. Most mushrooms are picky eaters. The oyster mushroom is the goat of the fungal world. It eats everything. In laboratory tests, oyster mycelium has been trained to eat cigarette butts, use diapers. Yes, really, and even break down heavy oil spills. It disassembles complex toxins and rearranges the molecules into safe, edible tissue. But you don't need to feed it trash. You have something better. Coffee grounds. Caffeine is a natural pesticide. It kills insects and stunts plant growth. But the oyster mushroom isn't bothered. It treats caffeine like an energy drink. It colonizes a bucket of espresso waste faster than mold can catch up. It is the ultimate urban scavenger. So we have a superfood that grows on waste, fights cholesterol, and survives the cold. Logic dictates this should be the cheapest, most common food in the grocery store. But when you walk into the produce aisle, what do you see? Rows and rows of those white, round, tasteless button mushrooms, or their brown cousins cremini and portobello. Why is the button mushroom better for you? No, it has less protein and fewer beta-glucans than the oyster. Is it easier to grow? No. Button mushrooms require composted manure and extremely specific conditions. The reason you see them everywhere is purely logistical. The button mushroom is a rock. You can toss it in a crate, bounce it around a truck for 1,000 miles, leave it on a shelf for a week, and it still looks the same. It is designed for the supply chain, not for your health. The oyster mushroom is delicate. It has a shelf life of about 48 to 72 hours. After that, it starts to wilt and lose its texture. It cannot survive the industrial food system. It refuses to be commoditized. Supermarkets hate perishability. Spoilage eats into their margins. So they made a choice. They decided to sell you the cardboard of mushrooms because it's profitable, and they left the steak of mushrooms out of the picture. They trained you to think mushrooms are just a rubbery pizza topping. They don't want you to know that the real thing, the medicinal, meaty, high-protein powerhouse, can be grown for free at home, bypassing their checkout counter entirely. But here is the catch. Because you are bypassing the system, you are also bypassing the safety checks. When you bring a biological engine this powerful into your home, you become the farmer. And farming indoors has rules. Remember the spore storm I warned you about. Now I'm going to show you how to set up your coffee bucket farm without turning your lungs into a filter. You don't need a laboratory. You need a bucket, some spawn, and a rule. Step 1. The fuel, sterilized by design. Growing mushrooms usually requires a pressure cooker to sterilize the substrate. But if you drink coffee, you have a cheat code. When you brew coffee, the boiling water pasteurizes the grounds for you. The rule, use the grounds fresh. Within 24 hours of brewing, if you let them sit for days, mold will get there first. If you don't drink enough coffee, ask your local coffee shop. They throw away tons of this black gold every day and will gladly give it to you for free. Step 2. The inoculation, the lasagna method. Get a clean 5-gallon bucket and drill 1/4-inch holes all around the sides. This is where the mushrooms will burst out. Buy a bag of blue oyster grain spawn online. This is your seed. Now layer it like lasagna, layer 1. An inch of moist coffee grounds. Layer 2. A sprinkle of mushroom spawn. Repeat until the bucket is full or you run out of coffee. Put the lid on. Cover the holes with breathable micropore tape or just keep it in a clean trash bag to keep flies out, but let air in. Step 3. The incubation. Place the bucket somewhere dark and room temperature. For 2 to 3 weeks, the white mycelium will run through the coffee, turning the black mess into a solid white block. It is eating. Step 4. The fruiting. Once the bucket is totally white, expose it to fresh air, and a bit of light, indirect sunlight is fine. Spray it with water daily. Within days, you will see baby mushrooms poking out of the holes. They will double in size every 24 hours. It is alien to watch. Now, the critical safety rule, the curl. This is where most beginners hurt themselves. They want the mushrooms to get huge. They wait until the caps flatten out like pancakes. Wrong. When the cap flattens completely and turns upwards, the mushroom thinks its job is done. It opens its gills and releases billions of spores. This is the spore storm that clogs lungs and coats your room in white dust. The fix harvest, when the edge of the mushroom cap is still curled down slightly. At this stage, the curl, the mushroom has reached maximum meatiness, but it has not released its spores yet. Harvesting early is the secret to safe indoor farming. No spores, better texture, and zero risk to your lungs. When you harvest that first cluster of blue oysters, frying them in a pan with a little butter and garlic, realize what you have done. You didn't go to the store. You didn't pay for inflation-priced beef. You took a waste product, something society calls trash, and you transmuted it into life-saving nutrition. This is the ultimate survival hack. While others are fighting over the last steak in the freezer aisle, you are quietly growing a renewable feast in the corner of your kitchen. Don't fear the fungi. Respect them. Learn the curl. And never buy their tasteless button mushrooms again. The free meat is real, and it's waiting for your next cup of coffee. I'm the architect of reclaimed nature. Feed the soil, feed yourself, and I'll see you in the harvest.